Top 5 convicts who freaked out after being given a life sentence. Life behind bars is the punishment that strikes fear into the hearts of criminals everywhere. But what happens when that fear becomes a reality? In this video, we'll dive into the shocking and sometimes downright bizarre reactions of 5 convicts who received a life sentence. From explosive outbursts to emotional breakdowns, we'll take a raw and unfiltered look at the harsh reality of life without parole. These unforgettable moments capture the essence of the human condition, the desperation, the anger, the disbelief. But behind the headlines and the mugshots lies a deeper story of crime, justice, and ultimately, consequences. So, hold on tight as we explore the raw and intriguing world of those who have been given the ultimate punishment, a life sentence. Steven Avery. Steven Avery's case is one of the most high-profile examples of a convict who had a strong reaction to being sentenced to life in prison. Avery was convicted of the murder of photographer Teresa Halbach in 2007 and sentenced to life in prison without parole. The case received widespread media attention and was the subject of the popular Netflix documentary Making a Murderer. In the documentary, viewers were shown footage of Avery's reaction to his sentencing in court. Avery was visibly upset and began shouting at the judge saying, "I didn't do it." His defense attorneys argued that the evidence against him was circumstantial and that he was framed by the police department. The case has been controversial and has led to debates over the fairness of the justice system. Regardless of one's opinion on the case, Avery's reaction to the sentencing was undoubtedly raw and emotional. It's a reminder that behind every life sentence is a human being who is grappling with the consequences of their actions. Mitchell Blair. Mitchell Blair is a convict who had a disturbing and bizarre reaction to being sentenced to life in prison. In 2016, Blair was found guilty of first-degree murder in the deaths of his 2 children, a 10-year-old boy and an 8-year-old girl. He was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. During his sentence hearing, Blair had to be forcibly removed from the courtroom after he smeared his face with feces and threw excrement at the judge. His outburst was so violent and disruptive that the hearing had to be postponed for several days. Blair's behavior shocked and horrified those present in the courtroom, and it was a stark reminder of the devastating impact that violent crimes can have on families and communities. The case also sparked debates about mental illness and the need for improved mental health resources and support for those who are struggling. Dustin Armstrong. Dustin Armstrong's reaction to being sentenced to life in prison was nothing short of explosive. When the judge announced his sentence, Armstrong became visibly agitated and began shouting in the courtroom. He accused the judge of being unfair and claimed that he had not received a fair trial. Armstrong's outburst was so intense that the judge had to order him to be removed from the courtroom. Witnesses described the scene as chaotic and unsettling, with Armstrong screaming and pounding his fists on the table. The outburst was a chilling reminder of the deep emotional turmoil that some convicts experience when faced with the reality of a life sentence. What led Armstrong to commit such a heinous crime? What drove him to the brink of madness when he received his sentence? These are questions that may never be fully answered. But what we do know is that Armstrong's actions had tragic consequences for an innocent child and her family. Number 3 on our list today is KEISON Willikens. KEISON Willikens' reaction to his life sentence was a violent and terrifying outburst that shocked those present in the courtroom. Willikens was convicted of the brutal murder of a 70-year-old woman who was beaten, strangled, and her home set on fire. When the judge announced his sentence, Willikens erupted in a violent outburst, lunging towards the judge and forcing courtroom officials to restrain him. The outburst was so intense that the sentencing hearing had to be delayed and resumed at a later date. The victim's family expressed their deep sorrow and pain over the violent murder of their loved one. "Our mother and grandmother was a gentle soul who loved her family and her community," they said in a statement. "Her brutal and senseless murder has left a hole in our hearts that can never be filled." The incident also sparked a debate about the impact of violent crimes on the mental health of perpetrators. While some suggested that Willikens' behavior was a sign of a deeply troubled mind, others argued that it was a calculated attempt to avoid accountability for his actions. Michael MARIN. Michael MARIN was a wealthy man who had a successful career as a Wall Street trader and lawyer. However, in 2009, he was convicted of arson after setting his $3.5 million mansion on fire to collect insurance money. When the judge handed down his sentence of life in prison, MARIN had a shocking and dramatic reaction. He appeared to swallow something, then fell to the ground and began convulsing. Court officers rushed to his side and attempted to perform CPR but were unsuccessful in reviving him. He was pronounced dead shortly thereafter. It was later discovered that Martin had taken a cyanide pill, which he had apparently smuggled into the courtroom. The incident sparked controversy and speculation about how he had managed to bring the pill into the highly secured courtroom. Marchial Anguiano. Marchial Anguiano was a 26-year-old man from California who was convicted of murder in 2009. Anguiano had killed his girlfriend's ex-boyfriend in a fit of jealous rage and was sentenced to life in prison without parole. When the judge announced his sentence of life in prison without parole for murder, Anguiano became visibly agitated and started shouting obscenities. He then turned to his family in the courtroom and shouted, "I love you guys," before being restrained and taken away by court officials. Anguiano's outburst was so violent that he had to be subdued with a taser by court officials. According to reports, he then continued to scream and threaten violence even as he was being removed from the courtroom. The incident was shocking and disruptive, causing chaos in the courtroom and leaving the judge and court officials visibly shaken. It also left Anguiano's family members in tears as they had hoped for a more lenient sentence. That's it for the video, folks. We hope you enjoyed this glimpse into the lives of some of the most infamous convicts who have freaked out after being given a life sentence. From Stephen Avery to KEISON Wilkins, Jodi Arias to Mitchell Blair, these cases are a reminder of the power of raw emotion in the courtroom. While we certainly don't condone violent behavior, we hope that this video has been an entertaining and intriguing look at some of the most dramatic moments in recent criminal history. Remember, there's always more to the story than what we see on the surface. So, until next time, keep an open mind and a sharp eye, and stay tuned for more exciting content from our team here. Thank you for watching. Smash the like button on your screen and subscribe to the channel for more interesting videos like this.